Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, what do you do when your girlfriend won't pay for anything?
Also, why you should be mad at Wendy's and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
If I told you that a couple just recently got married in a gas station bathroom, ridiculous, right?
I would say ridiculous.
What if I told you it was at a hop shop? You ever been to a hop shop?
I've never been to a hop shop.
Have you seen a hop shop?
A hop shop?
Yeah.
What do they have at a hop shop?
That
sounds like someplace you would dance or maybe do drugs. I don't know. That sounds like a horrible place. A hop shop?
A hop shop. Well, they got pop at the hop shop.
They have pop.
They do have pop, but they also have you actually do wood dance, because the hop shop convenience store gas station is home to disco bathrooms. So this couple got married in a gas station bathroom, but it wasn't just any gas station bathroom. It was a disco bathroom. They have multiple of these locations. It's something they just celebrated the 1-year anniversary. Hop shops did of having disco bathrooms. So you go to the bathroom and then you can press a button and it makes the disco ball go and whatever. And so this couple in Kentucky decided they wanted to get married in a hop shop disco bathroom. And they did just that.
I like how they walked down the aisle.
Of the gas station.
Literally down the aisle.
Yeah.
Into the bathroom. And they're wearing she's wearing a wedding dress.
Yeah.
It looks legit. There's people there. There's some guests. Grandma's there. She's getting a video.
Are you sure it's grandma, or is it just somebody who was trying to get some Funyuns?
Who was just there.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, a wedding.
Well, I might as well take a video.
Yeah.
One of the guys in the bathroom, I swear on my life, he has a big cup. He's got a big cup that he probably just filled up.
Yeah.
He's got the 48-ouncer Mountain Dew in there.
Well, wouldn't you, if you had the opportunity?
If I was at a wedding at a gas station, I probably would spend the $1 to have a drink during the wedding.
Yeah. It just feels like a good deal. It says they got married by an actual hop shop employee named David Beery. What are the odds that a hop shop, a gas station employee is ordained or whatever?
Maybe he got ordained for this moment.
Possibly, yeah. I guess some places you can do that fairly easily so that he could perform the ceremony. It looks like they had fun with it. So I did have to think, though. I was just thinking, what if you needed to go to the bathroom? You just pulled up, you filled up your tank, and now you need to drain your tank. And
well, nobody's walking in during their ceremony.
I know
the gas
that's
station's closed.
They closed it. You think?
Yeah, I think they closed the gas station for this. I think they rented the whole thing out.
Yeah. Okay. So then you want to get gas, and you're like, dang it. Now where am I going to go?
Oh, they're having a wedding here at the hop shop.
I'm a hop shop. This is where I go because they have the best. They have 2 for $33.33 hot dogs, and they got the disco bathrooms. This is where I stop, and now my whole day derailed because of this wedding, the inconvenience. So this must have been for some people. You
got to think that a gas station bathroom probably bottom 3 spots to get married, right? I mean, porta potty is probably the worst.
That's my initial thought.
That's probably the worst.
Potty, definitely worse.
And then what other place? I mean, a gas station bathroom, what other place is going to be worse?
You're putting the pressure on me here.
I can't think of one. I thought porta potty initially, and then that's about all I can come up with. I think it's a bottom 2. It might be bottom 2.
It's down there. It's down. I mean, just any bathroom. I can think of worse bathrooms than gas stations, though. But
I don't know if I can.
But it does concern me. They have the disco bathroom. Is that to hide? Other bathrooms at gas stations are proud that they keep it so clean. Not hop shops. They're we turn out the lights so that you can't see the dirt.
Press this big fun red button.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to see what's actually in there.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
Isaiah, we did it. We got it back to the moon. The United States, one of 5. Think about that. 5 countries have made it to the moon.
We're one of them.
We're one of them. And we've done it multiple times now. Our lunar lander is there right now as we speak. The first mission back to the moon from the United States in about 50 years. It landed recently, but I don't know if you know this. The lunar lander that we sent that is sitting on the surface of the moon, shortly after it landed near the South Pole, the lunar lander, it tipped over. It fell down.
Is that bad?
Not good. It's not good. As I understand it, one of the legs on the lunar lander to keep it stable, it broke, so it's uneven, and so then it kind of tipped over from there. Don't know how that exactly all happened.
I know how it happened. They have this big old top with these tiny little legs. I mean, I could have told you, it looks like a folding chair. That's what it looks like. The bottom looks like a folding chair. And you put a whole top of a rocket on there, and you really thought that was going to hold it up.
They thought so.
Shocker.
But it's still functional. It's not supposed to move around much, I don't think. So it is still able to be taking pictures right now. So we have pictures of our tipped over lunar lander on the surface of the moon. And I don't know. Are they, I mean, you're seeing them here too. They're just as impressive as you might think.
It's a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
What in the world are we doing? These pictures, I mean, this is like something my grandma would take. This is a horrible photograph.
But it's one of the best photographs we've ever gotten of the moon.
I mean, you would think that if we're going to put something on the moon, that the camera we send up there would at least be iPhone quality that we can put in our pocket.
I mean,
we carry around. I mean, think about all the cameras you got on that iPhone. I've got like 6 on the back side of it now.
Yeah.
And this is what we send to the moon? You can barely, that doesn't even cover the whole screen. It's literally a fisheye. It looks like you're looking through a peephole.
It does, which you have a lot of experience with.
Yeah.
It is questionable to me too that going back to the lander tipping over, it feels like that's something you could foresee. Like it would have like some kind of correcting device, but I think they're concerned now because it's not standing upright like it's supposed to be, that it will eventually run out of power faster. And so that could be something to be reckoned with. And we're not going to get our billions of dollars worth out of this little trip we've made.
Well, we're not selling it in photographs. We're not making the money up there. I know that much.
But yet again, this is one of the best pictures we've ever gotten of the moon. One of the best close-ups of all time.
And it's unbelievably bad. That's the crazy part. I've seen, remember when we put that crazy telescope that was just taking unbelievable photos of just deep space?
Uh-huh.
How in the world do we get photos like that, and then they send this lunar lander on the moon, and they can't take a photo 5 feet in front of it?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it must be hard to focus up close like that.
It must be.
I don't know. I also think too, like maybe this feeds into people's conspiracies about how we never went to the moon in the first place. But like, there's like pretty good footage, like video footage of like the first time we went, right?
At least that it's supposed to be.
50 years later, all the advances we've made, and the pictures are somehow worse. Maybe we'll get better ones. Maybe these are just like
the beginning ones.
Yeah.
Like a week from now, they'll bring out the good camera.
Right. Those take longer to send. They got to upload.
Exactly.
Bad internet on the moon.
The cloud. It's not making it through the cloud.
Right.
They
it's
need
got
to
to bounce off of several satellites before it is downloaded here. So that's probably what it is.
We'll give them a week.
Yeah.
They'll give us some better stuff.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself. You're
listening to The Riot on Radio U.
The anti-straw lobby at it again. If it's not enough to convince you to stop using straws, that they're bad for the environment.
The turtles?
Yeah, the turtles.
We all know about the turtles and them straws.
We've been through that. But many people seem to be unconvinced. They continue on using straws. And so maybe this is something that might hit home a little more for you. straws are giving you wrinkles. They're making you look older. And particularly now with Stanley Cups being all the rage, you don't drink out of a Stanley Cup without a handy straw in there.
That's the whole thing.
That's part of it. But that straw is aging you, and fast. According to some health experts like this gal, Laura Devgan. She is a part of the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. She is one of the ones that's reminding people that when you are drinking out of a straw, it's contributing to giving you lip lines, which is the vertical lines that will appear right above your lips as you age. And that process is accelerated when you are constantly, doing the action of sipping out of a straw. It can also be caused by, some call them smoker's lines, because it's caused if you're smoking, making the face when you smoke. Anything you do where you make that face like you're drinking out of a straw, it's giving you those lines.
Well, like she has a couple straws that are supposed to be helpful. There's certain straws that you can buy.
Yeah, I'm seeing these alternative straws
to make sure you don't get lip lines.
Yeah.
But we have our own way here on the Riot. Because this doesn't affect us.
What's our way?
We've got mustaches.
Yeah.
You can't stop us with these wrinkle lines.
That's right.
We've got mustaches.
Till the day I die.
Mustache it is. You can't tell if I have wrinkles or not. I've got a mustache.
How many lip lines, how many smoker's lines do I have right now?
We don't know.
Too difficult to say. And you're never going to find out.
Grow out a mustache. It's the ultimate defender of the lip wrinkles. You want to use straws? I can use as many straws as I want.
Yeah.
Mustache. Boom.
We've conquered it. We've conquered it. But otherwise, you've been warned. I am seeing these alternative straws. Some might call them crazy. A little bit crazy.
They do look kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
That big one, she's using like a big one. In the video, that looks like fun.
I don't understand the pink one. There's one that's just like, it's like a hook. It's like a hook, so it goes into your mouth sideways, and then you don't really have to like put your lips forward. It just kind of hooks into your cheek.
You put it in the side of your mouth. Yeah.
You kind of suck that way.
Which makes sense.
That makes sense. I don't understand the pink one. I can't see it well enough.
The pink one looks like a tongue.
Lips. It's like a tongue.
You kind of stick it in your mouth. I don't know. It looks weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that one.
If you use the straw in the corner of your mouth, I think that could possibly defeat it as well.
Probably your best bet. But you know me. You know I'm anti-straw, and it's not just about the environment, and it's not about the lip lines. I just think it feels like a form of weakness to me.
Emily says you can pry my water bottle straw out of my cold, dead lips. Emily, they won't be cold and dead. They'll be wrinkly.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
It's about time that we get the Riot hotline up and running today.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Because I've got a question for everyone, especially for our travelers out there. What's the most disappointing city you've ever visited? Let us know at 8772-RADIO-U. Isaiah, you're quite the traveler. You've been everywhere.
Been some places. Seen some things.
Surely some of the cities you've been to didn't exactly live up to the expectations. They didn't exactly tickle your fancy as much as you thought they might. So what cities might those be?
Good questions. I'm a pretty positive traveler. I feel like I can find some good things in every place.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of cities that I was really disappointed in when I went there. I do have some cities that had some bad qualities. New Orleans smelled bad. It just stunk. Not that it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
There was lots of stuff to see. Just smelled bad.
Okay.
Wasn't a fan. Seattle, Washington, very cool on the water.
Yeah.
but I will say dirtier than I expected.
Okay.
A little bit dirtier. Trying to think of other cities that I've visited. Wasn't much of a fan of. Kansas City, not my favorite. Don't even need to return there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Those are some of the ones that didn't tickle me too hot.
I think I'm the opposite of you. Or no, I'm still a positive traveler. I usually enjoy everything, especially because if you're traveling, it's usually for something fun. So you're going to have a good attitude, and it's hard to make me upset. But I do have an outlook where I can find something disappointing about everywhere I've been.
Oh, you can go negative.
Yeah, you give me a city I've been to, I could probably tell you a negative about it. But I'm thinking of some of the more egregious disappointments that I've experienced. I'm saving them up. I want to see what some other people say too here. 877-2-RADIO-U. Let us know the most disappointing city you've ever visited.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Today, the question right now is, what is the most disappointing city you've ever visited? Something that did not meet expectations. 877-2-RADIO-U. Isaiah has reason to be disappointed with Seattle. And which one's New Orleans, you said, smells bad. Speaking of smelling bad, we had someone text in here. Las Vegas smells like a dumpster, too hot, zero fun.
Bad smells. A bad smell can kill a city for you, right when you get out.
Did you notice that when you've been to Vegas, that it smells bad?
I don't remember the smell too much. It didn't pop out to me, the bad smell, but I could definitely see it, especially because it's so hot there. I could see there being some scents that weren't scents I could agree with.
Yeah, and well, with you living with Jim the dog, you might be more used to
bad smells.
Bad smells, yeah. Philip texted in an interesting one. He says the entire country of Israel. He said he went as a kid, so he was really just bored. He didn't understand why he was there back then. So would you give it another shot, Philip? Now,
run it back.
As a grown man, I'm assuming. He says specifically Tel Aviv. Do you know much about Tel Aviv? I've never been overseas there, so I don't know about that. Peyton says Newark, New Jersey is a dump. I've only ever seen it at night that I can remember.
I've never been.
Which probably isn't the best light to see it in.
You would agree.
Yeah, but it's tough to say because I was just driving through in the middle of the night. Speaking of driving through, Regina calling out not just a city, but the entire state, Oklahoma.
We have some Oklahoma listeners.
Yeah, Regina, you better watch what you're saying here. But she says when she's traveled through Oklahoma, it's been impossible to find a bathroom. One time they missed their exit while traveling and had to go 30 miles out of the way to find the next one. So just maybe not a lot going on in Oklahoma for Regina. She says she's had some positive experience with concerts there, and she's going back in June, so we shall see. Terry says Niagara Falls. Also, Venice, Italy. There's literally no grass, and there's dog poop and garbage everywhere. How romantic.
D says the entire state of Louisiana.
Oh.
Now we're just calling out states.
Yeah, seriously.
I like it.
Yeah. Some of mine, I was thinking, you know that I have a vendetta against Phoenix, but I also didn't have very high expectations when I went there. So I don't think it's fair to say I was disappointed. But I'll tell you, disappointed, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. Chicago.
I was going to say Chicago. That was the one I had for this break.
Is the most disappointing city I've been to. And it's not that I don't like Chicago. I do, but I had these visions in my mind when I was going to Chicago of it's like New York City, like vibrant, like stuff going on. Like it's a giant city. There's got to be, and it just was not as exciting as I maybe was hoping. I feel like I might have gone at the wrong time. Like I feel like there's a month window if you go right at the right sweet spot of the summer where Chicago might be what I hope it's supposed to be.
But if you're looking for a month sweet spot, how great is that city?
Right. Yeah. If you can only go in July, then it might not be that good of a city.
I think Chicago's probably a great city. I've been to it multiple times.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it lives up to the hype.
Right.
You think about Chicago as like a top 5 city in the U.S. of A. You're thinking New York. You're thinking Los Angeles. Then what
Yeah.
comes to mind? You're thinking Chicago. Chicago doesn't quite live up for me.
Yeah. I just don't know. I guess I don't know what Chicago has to hang its hat on as like, this is what we do well.
This is
you
our
should come.
thing.
Yeah, right. So that's what I picked up. I know they got the pizza. The hot dogs, you got to get out of here with that. But the pizza's good, but I can now get that pizza elsewhere.
Chad says Florence, Italy. It was hot and smelly and incredibly crowded, and he nearly got pickpocketed.
Ooh.
Well, you can't pull one over on Chad.
No, yeah, that's right.
You can try to pick his pocket, you won't.
He's got
Regina,
eyes in the back of his head.
trying to defend Louisiana. She says the heat sucks, but food and people are great.
I am getting a sensing a theme here that cities tend to smell bad is a big no-no. If your city smells bad, people are not going to remember it fondly. Think of a city that you've went to that smelled bad and you're like, still pretty good city though.
Great time.
Except for the smell, actually really enjoyed it there.
There's never been a can of worms they didn't open. The Riot, Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U, 8772 Radio U. You can find us on TikTok at Radio U Official. Wendy's is going to be testing something new out that I do feel, well, I'm going to get everyone's reaction to it at 8772 Radio U. Wendy's CEO, Kirk Tanner, from Full House, he says that they are going to begin testing out dynamic pricing, aka surge pricing, similar to what like Uber does. So like at high priority times when more customers are coming into Wendy's, they are going to be increasing prices of menu items at certain locations. They're going to have like digital menu boards where the price is constantly fluctuating during some peak times. So he says that using the Dave Single, one of their most popular menu items as an example, that could go up as much as $1 on top of what it already is.
$1?
During peak times. Yeah. Yeah. They're going to see how it goes, testing at the surge pricing at Wendy's. What are your thoughts?
Does it ever go down?
That would be ideal, right? I guess if you go at non-peak times, it goes back down to what it normally is.
That's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want it to be below what it normally is.
Right. I'm seeing here because like it's this story kind of explains some other places that do it. We're all familiar with like Uber doing it, and that makes sense because at peak times you have more people trying to get rides, but still like the same amount of drivers potentially. So it makes sense that they would raise the prices, supply and demand. At Wendy's, it doesn't make as much sense. There's still plenty of other restaurants you could go to that are keeping the prices the same. It doesn't make as much sense. But I did see like there's some bars that do it kind of more like the stock market, where like if something's getting ordered a lot, they rise the price, and like it's in real time. They will raise the price of things that are getting sold a lot, and then you could get a deal on something that not many people are ordering because it's lower in the stock market style.
Yeah,
which
but
that sounds fun.
That's like a bar thing. That's
Right.
like the shtick of the bar. This
Yeah.
is Wendy's we're talking about
This is
here.
Wendy's, and they're not doing it to be fun.
This isn't some special restaurant.
Yeah.
This is just Wendy's being like, you know what? Maybe at lunch, what if we charge $1 more?
Yeah.
Because we're busy.
Why don't we squeeze even more out of you, as if things aren't expensive enough already? The price for Wendy's doesn't go up during lunchtime. Why should it go up for me?
Why would I go to Wendy's and not somewhere where I know how much I'm going to pay?
Yeah, exactly. And you think about it too, the regulars, like at any restaurant, particularly at Wendy's, you're going to have regulars and they're going to be upset. And now at lunchtime, they're taking the workers' time away from making food because they're going to be complaining about why their burger costs 55 cents more than it normally would.
And it's not like Wendy's is this typically cheap place either. Like, it's not like it's less expensive than McDonald's. So, like, if you did go to Wendy's,
Yeah.
like, and you got it at the right time, you're paying this cheap price. No, it's not even cheap. Like, it's just like all the other fast
It's
food
comparable,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the same. So it's either you're going to be paying just as much as you would if you went to any other fast food restaurant, or if you hit it at the wrong time, you're going to be paying more.
Yeah. This it really makes me upset if they think that like they can it's supply and demand. Well, I'm going to demand food from somewhere else because I'm not getting it at Wendy's. Do you think what would Dave Thomas say about this?
Bad business.
Look in the mirror, Kirk. What would Dave Thomas say? It is the riot.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
He's got a little gambler in him. His name is Louis Brueggemann. He's 82 years old. He's a radiologist, millionaire, clearly, because he has a $16 million cliffside mansion in California, and it is right on the Pacific Ocean. The thing is, it might be about to be in the Pacific Ocean. It is in danger, according to some, of falling right off of the cliff that it's on, because the cliff could collapse and this house would be destroyed, fall into the ocean. But this guy refuses to leave, to give up on his $16 million home there in California.
He's standing strong.
He is standing strong. He's like, some people are like, your house is going to fall into the Pacific Ocean one day. Those cliffs are going to collapse. He's like, no, they won't. That's his argument.
His argument is no, it won't.
No, it will not. I'm not worried about it. He's gonna ride it out. And you think about it? If you've got that house, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. If you've invested in that house, what are the odds that I'm looking at it? It looks stable. It looks stable for now.
Well, you got to think this is a $16 million house.
Uh-huh.
You have to think that he drove in some real big time pillars into the ground
Yeah.
to keep that thing standing there, to where if the ground falls from beneath it,
Uh-huh.
it should be like standing on stilts. But even if it does fall,
Yeah, that's right.
even if it does fall off, I mean, isn't he just going to claim it to insurance?
That's my concern, is that I have to imagine if there is legitimate reason to believe that cliff could just collapse, then it probably would be difficult for him to get insurance from anybody. But you think about this, though, even if you can't get insurance on it, which is crazy to not have insurance on a $16 million mansion, but if he moves out of that $16 million mansion, then it's worthless. You can't sell it to somebody else, so you might as well just ride it out.
Nobody's buying that at this point.
Yeah, that's right. If you can't get insurance on it and it's possibly going to fall into the ocean, you got to be the last owner of that thing. So he might as well just play chicken with the cliff. I think I admire this guy for doing it. Kudos to him for taking his chances. You just got to hope that you're not going to be in the house if it ever falls into the Pacific Ocean.
Well, it's a huge house, so even if you're on one side of it, you got plenty of time.
That's right.
Even at 82 years old, he'll be able to skedaddle out of
I
there.
think so, yeah.
By the time that thing actually falls, you'll hear it coming.
You got to think it's not just going to suddenly fall. You're going to have a little bit of warning signs, right?
Things are going to start like tipping.
Yeah.
You'll start to hear like big pieces start to go down, and then you can go ahead and waddle out of there.
Yeah, I think so. So, well, good luck to him.
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on Radio U.
It's National Pancake Day.
No, it's not.
It is.
What are we doing special?
I was thinking you could do some useless knowledge about it.
Maybe we should eat some pancakes.
We could eat some pancakes. That's a fun. Now, I could have sworn, did anybody else, did we not just have National Pancake Day literally like 2 weeks ago?
It feels like pancake, waffle, chocolate day. All those just happen nonstop.
I thought National Pancake Day was like the same day as Fat Tuesday. And IHOP was offering like the free pancakes. Did that not just happen? What was that for if it wasn't National Pancake Day?
Oh, that was, National Pancake Day. It's telling me is on February 28th.
Yeah, that's
But
tomorrow.
I'm also seeing that it's on February 13th, according to IHOP.
You can't have, come on, IHOP. You can't have two National Pancake Days in the same month. Come on. So that's how IHOP celebrated by creating their own National Pancake Day 2 weeks early. But you could celebrate. Take your love of pancakes to the next level. Do a whole vacation centered around flapjacks with Eggo. Tomorrow on National Pancake Day, they are opening up bookings for their literal pancake house. It is a cottage in, did you know this? The pancake capital of the South is Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Gatlinburg?
Makes sense. If you go there, pancakes everywhere.
Are there? I've been to Gatlinburg.
There's a lot of pancake places, yeah. And so apparently it's the pancake capital of the South. Eggo has designed a house that is literally, it looks like a stack of pancakes with syrup dripping down. And then it's got the Eggo logo there. And you can book this pancake cottage for any weekend. It's open every weekend in March for up to 8 guests. And booking starts tomorrow is when it opens up.
Do you have a preferred? I had pancakes over the weekend, actually.
You did.
Do you have a preferred flavor? If you're going to put something in your pancake, what are you tossing in it?
Somebody just asked me this. And the answer is cinnamon, like cinnamon roll.
Oh, you're a cinnamon roll guy, huh?
Like if I go to, I've had at IHOP actually, their Cinnabon pancakes.
That's like a dessert.
So good. So good. Pancakes feel like a dessert. They don't feel like a meal.
Oh, they're so good.
Except they fill you up like a meal. That sometimes peanut butter and chocolate can be real good too, but definitely Cinnabon, like cinnamon roll, is my favorite.
I
Some
like
cream
it.
cheese.
Yeah, I like a blueberry pancake. But I also like a banana pancake.
Uh-huh.
Chocolate chip has grown on me over the years. I had a chocolate chip pancake over the weekend. Very good.
Mhm.
I had like a little diner. I also like the little peanut butter pieces
Yeah.
in there as well. I will tell you, I'm looking at a list right now
Yeah.
that have like the top pancakes
Okay.
at fast food places.
Interesting.
It's unbelievable. Coming in at number 1, I've never had this pancake. It says the Whataburger pancake platter. And at 1. And at number 2, the IHOP English sticky toffee pancakes.
That sounds good. That sounds like a good mix.
The number 3 is the classic McDonald's hot cake. Number 4, IHOP getting in with their classic buttermilk. And then 5 is Jack's pancakes.
Jack's.
I've never had Jack's.
I don't know what that, like Jack in the Box, or is this different?
It's not to be confused with Jack in the Box. Jack's pancakes.
It is confused.
Jack's Family Restaurants. It's a southern thing, I think.
Oh.
Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee.
Never heard of it.
Me either.
Can I say this too, talking about pancake flavors? I think I might enjoy if it's a good, like just standard pancake. I feel like I enjoy that more than any flavored pancake.
Just the original with a little bit of syrup?
Yeah, if it's real good, it's got some like just a hint of vanilla in the batter,
Mm.
melts in your mouth, maybe a little doughy. Just a little bit of dough, a little batter. Yeah, that's for me. National Pancake Day. Enjoy tomorrow.
You don't always have to agree with Isaiah to always disagree with Hudson. The Riot. Radio U.
We're in the midst of Love 'em or Leave 'em, helping couples navigate the windy turnpike of love. Isaiah, what is the TLDR version of today's Love 'em or Leave 'em?
They've been dating for about a year. The guy in the relationship currently a little bit upset with his girlfriend who has stopped helping out with a lot of the money stuff, paying for dates, paying for hotels. They used to split things 50-50, and now she kind of just expects him to pay all the time. He has brought it up to her. She did not like that he brought it up. She feels like he should just pay for everything. For background, he does not come from a wealthy family, and he only makes a small amount of money more than her. That's the TLDR.
All right. We have Bailey who got in and said, if you can't have an honest conversation about money, you're not ready to take a step towards marriage. Healthy relationships are built on honest, open communication, which it sounds like, and others said this, that he's trying to communicate. It's a conversation that's being had, and she just does not seem very receptive to it. Jeff says, he says he's doing good to try and communicate. I say he attempts one more time to communicate and then dump her. Leave him is what Jeff says if it doesn't work out. We also have Tim who says it's not a breakup red flag, but if this continues or if multiple red flags happen, then we break up. Regina says leave him. You stated what you need and the help requested. Sounds like she just wants to be with a rich guy. There's better ladies out there. I tend to lean. This is always tough because you hear the statistics of like when it comes especially to divorces, it's so often about money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like money itself is such a silly thing to put over love. But money is so determinant of like your future that if you guys can't get on the same page about it, then it's going to be really hard. You're just setting yourself both up to have more difficult times in the future. And so if you can't get on the same page about it, I do feel like this is the first one where I feel like if he's still got to give it a few more college tries to clearly state and communicate what he's expecting from her. But I feel like I'll leave him. I feel like I'm leaning towards leave him here.
Yeah, this is a tough situation. I think a big part of it is that they make nearly the same amount of money.
Yeah.
It would be one thing if he was like blowing her out of the water money-wise, and he was making a ton more, and she wasn't really able to save just because she's making so little. But for him to be paying for everything while she's paying for nothing, and she's able to, put money away in savings probably.
Yeah.
If he's paying for all that stuff, that's the part where I think that needs to be more of a level ground. If you guys make similar money, you need to split things half and half, because if you do break up, then how much money are you going to have saved during your relationship?
Yeah.
Not very much. And so you got to look to the future. If 4 or 5 years down the line, you guys don't end up working out, she's going to have saved thousands of dollars because you paid for everything.
Yeah.
When realistically, you should have so much more in your savings. So to do yourself a favor, just in case you guys don't work out or this doesn't get any better, you have to fix this now or else you'll be kicking yourself 5 or 10 years from now.
Yeah. Well, one thing is we don't know from this story whether she is saving or whether she's just spending all of her money. And so that leads me to this question. Philip says, it sounds like he's saying, love him. He says, when dating, guys should take the lead. So this guy, he might not be taking the lead, but he's been forced to take the lead.
He is taking the lead right now.
But Philip also says, get a joint bank account. It would solve a lot of issues. I'm not sure that it would, because we don't know what she's spending her money on. If she is saving it and she saw what you guys had together total, then yes, if she was being aware of that. But if she'd see twice as much money in the bank account and she'd be like, oh, now I have more to spend. We don't know. And you can't have a joint bank account without being on the same page first, because all of a sudden then your money could start disappearing even quicker than it already is as the guy in this situation. So I feel like, I don't know if you have to break up today, but it feels like it's heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think you bring it up again, and if she's still not willing to start to pay for some of the stuff, then I think if you want to continue to try with the relationship, you need to cut down the opportunities where you guys are going out, where this can even come up. You cut down going out as much because you say, hey, I'm trying to save money here. And I can't be going out. We can't be going out for date nights every single weekend and me paying for the whole thing and me be trying to save money. So at the end of the day, it's either she needs to start paying up a little bit or you guys are doing less stuff so that you can save money.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.